welcome to episode 53 of the first season of the Webcomic Beacon Presents first issue.
I'm Marcus.
I'm Melissa.
And I'm Fes. So, this is a follow-up episode of comics that we've read during season 1, the DC New 52, and look at some of the comics that go beyond the first issue and see whether or not we made any good decisions on what we choose to follow up. Now, there were 52 comics, obviously. Can't quite go buying all of them once again.
Because none of us are rich.
Yeah.
No. And I'm the one who has to worry about taxes for this stuff.
Yeah.
So I picked a handful, I think 15 or 13 or something like that, of number twos.
Yeah.
And they dwindled down from there over the months. Basically, it's we're coming up on month 7 of the DC 52, so you can tell how long some of these videos have been taking to get to. But we're going to talk about some of the few that we've had the number twos about.
Or further.
Or further. I'll start with Supergirl. I wasn't too that inclined on to begin with. Thumbing through number 2. Actually, it was thumbing through number 3, and I was kind of liking it, so I picked up number 2 and number 3 and checked it out. Supergirl is a great example of decompressed comics. All of number 1 and number 2, and maybe the first couple pages of number 3 should have been number 1.
Yeah,
very much so.
It's. I thought. I remember talking about number 1, and we all kind of liked it because it was like a part of a scene, and that was the entire issue, and that was kind of a bold choice, I thought. But then it continued.
Yeah, like the thing is, it's an interesting story, but it's not that interesting that I would want to basically pay 3 times the amount for the same,
if it picked it up a bit.
Yeah, if it was at a regular pace, I'd still be reading it. The pace is the only thing that's really a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Another one would be Demon Knights was a choice that I know Melissa really liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
A cool one, man.
I didn't really engage with it though. I mean, and I think that's just more of a matter of subject matter and my own personal taste than any of the writing. It's a fun bit of writing.
Yeah, Paul Cornell.
Excellent
guy. Someone I would love to just pick his brain and talk to for a while. But it's I didn't have a problem with it. I just sort of slacked off more than anything deliberate.
Oh well, so there's that. I'm going through more because I got a lot.
I have more to.
Static Shock, number 2 and 3. This one kind of tapered off for me too. I really liked the first one a lot. Second one was all right. The thing that was happening that was really interesting with this, I felt if you watch the cartoon, this was like the cartoon. Each comic seemed episodic, very, very almost no connection from the very end to the next one. It was like another day or another week later. Yeah. Something completely different going on. Like he was like in the middle of like busting another crime or something like that. And so it was kind of jarring for me. Plus the extra narration, which he actually self-narrates a lot in the cartoon too.
It's always self-narrated. That goes from the old Milestone.
It's a lot of it's. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Like a little bit too much. I think it had a lot of potential. Some people might still have been on this, but I stuck it through number 3. There was a lot of good stuff there, but the storytelling was getting weird for me. I'll do one more. Aquaman. Aquaman was really interesting. I probably would have kept up on it. I wasn't too feeling Aquaman, even though I was liking the writing and the story that was presented. I still think a lot of people will get some mileage out of Aquaman as he was going through I don't really want to do this anymore sort of stuff, and then these guys show up. One note about the cover, in the eyes of this deep one here, is basically part of cover 1, which is fine because you got issue 1 and issue 2 kind of like reverse shots of each other. Problem is these aren't mirrored.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
minor thing, but it was kind of cool. So, Marcus.
For me, I really attached to Justice League. Those are the first 6 issues. Like, it's the first major arc. Won't really spoil it, but it's them essentially coming together and becoming a team. The really nice thing about it is that each issue kind of has one character that it follows. Sometimes it's hard to tell based on just these covers here.
Yeah.
But the idea is each time you learn a little bit more about one character, they contribute. The next issue, it's more of the next. And then the final 2 issues is kind of the big battle where they have to bring all of what they've learned together. It's very much like the perfect script for like a Justice League film. It's
like a TV movie.
yeah, like a TV movie or a miniseries, which it technically is. I mean, well, not really. It's not.
Yeah, it's like there's like a whole complete story with the first 6.
Yeah, the first 6. It's like you get a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it works very well for what it needs to do. And I didn't have any complaints.
Yeah,
Art's beautiful.
Some older readers might have a complaint, just because of resetting everything, starting over.
Well, that's
as a new reader, I really like this.
Yeah.
And this is the one I really picked up on. And at the end of number 6, is a backup, which we find more about the mysterious woman in red.
That's right, Pandora.
I want that. I want that outfit.
It is. It's a very nice
outfit. I like the outfit.
Yeah.
We're basically told, she shows up at the end of the event that brings everything in the New 52. You can't start the New 52 without knowing that it's a restart.
Yeah, that was sort of the point of the entire ad campaign, is saying we're resetting. Nobody's going into this not knowing at least that much.
Right.
That's kind of like not knowing who Batman and Superman are on a conceptual level. As long as you have some idea, that's all you really need to know to follow what's going on.
Yeah. So basically, it's just we know about her. We don't really know.
You don't really know anything other than she may or may not be responsible.
We do know. It's kind of meta. I want to say that Pandora is the avatar for Dan DiDio.
I want his wardrobe
because she's saying, it's like, well, one other character is like saying, do you regret what you did, or maybe I bet you're double thinking back on this now. It's like, no, I regret nothing. Things are gonna keep going like this. So I can only guess that that's sort of what's happening.
That's the idea.
See, I really was digging All-Star Western, and I got up through at least number 3. I think I'm gonna try and pick up the rest of them. It's really been a fun run. It's westerns mixed with Seven and Jack the Ripper, and it's westerns mixed with horror, which really is what the Jonah Hex deal is in general. But it's really fun. I've been enjoying that one. Good stuff.
Now, if I was more into Superman, like I wanted more Superman, I would have picked up the Superman line, because if you saw that episode, we were all really raving about that comic, and I would have picked it up more. Just wasn't really into a Superman comic. However, I was really interested in Superman action comics, where you get a lot of like the sort of beginnings of Superman, and I thought that whole part was really cool because I've never seen that before. I know some people were like, I've already read this, I don't want to read it again, sort of thing. But that's
the deal
them,
with it. It's a new universe.
I was really liking it. I think by 3 or 4 we get an introduction to Steel.
Yes.
And
Steel and Metallo.
Yeah, and then there's this big event, and it sounds it seemed like after that we might not be having this sort of interactions anymore with Superman at that early stage anymore, because he's sort of getting a little bit more, he's the only one that can do anything now. So I didn't really pick up the next one because that gets, I could probably look it up, but that's why I mostly was liking Action Comics.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have any more?
No, that was my pick. Everybody else kind of grabbed them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Green Lantern New Guardians. This one, I've not known anything about Green Lantern aside from whatever Green Lantern in the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah.
I've been loving this one. This one's been fun. And this is one I've been getting through number 6 and will get on 7. Just because the whole sort of haphazard forced to be a team thing, basically.
Yeah.
This is just, and it's colorful, and it's just fun. So I'm gonna keep on picking this up. And like I said, as a new reader, absolutely, and I know nothing about any of these other rings, not even really the Green Lantern as much, so I have more of an idea. I'm having fun with this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I wasn't really connecting with that one for whatever reason, though it does have a fun tone, and there are some really nice moments. I do like in one of the later issues, he calls in the Skittles pack or something like that. It's like, yes!
Nice.
Yes! All right.
you know what? I want a big giant beatdown with all of them punching. Taste the rainbow.
I would
Yeah,
I would buy that issue. I don't care.
Totally.
Your turn.
Animal Man.
Fuck yeah, Animal
Oh
Man.
yeah, Animal Man. I dig Animal Man. This is a fascinating comic. Horrifying. There's a really strong horror element in all of the issues so far.
Yeah,
And I've really been enjoying this. There are elements of the art that I find kind of off-putting, just the way it's rendered, but in other ways it really kind of works for the storyline that they're going for.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of reality bending going on.
Yes.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Yeah, if you're not wanting a typical superhero comic,
Yeah,
there you go.
this is extremely atypical.
Yeah,
and
it's
graphic and gory and just fucked up.
Yeah,
it's barely. It's only a superhero comic because it's Animal Man. If they just named it Animal, you would have no.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even be. You wouldn't even think to call it a superhero.
Also, he's barely the main character. He's just
No,
kind of the
it's- yeah.
character that other things are happening around.
Yeah, like
that are
his
much
daughter,
bigger
if
than he
anything,
is.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all about his daughter. Really neat stuff.
Did you want to present one of these?
Sure. Dead Man.
Batman!
DC Universe presents. This one was a lot of fun. I didn't get too much further than issue 2 on it, but that's just, it's just more out of a personal preference. I was kind of burning out on superheroes after having read the entire New 52, the first issues. Nothing wrong with the quality. Quality
I think
is
if you kept up on number 3, you'd have been like, oh, I gotta finish this, because basically I think it's a 5 or 6 issues before they start like the next DC
there's
Universe
Challenges
Presents.
of Unknown.
Yeah, which is like number 6 or 7. The whole story for Dead Man is awesome. If the Dead Man thing comes out as a trade, I'd recommend anyone to buy that trade.
Oh, it'll definitely win.
But that it's got this sort of like this sort of man versus God sort of thing going on. It just the undertones. There's just I wasn't really thinking I was gonna like Dead Man when I first picked up this, but it's like now I'm just like, yes, this is so cool. I love it.
Awesome.
Nice.
Otherwise, Batwing was one that I was really kind of digging on. I picked up number 2. I might have picked up 3. I'm not sure. But again, because completely different setting. I mean, set in Africa, and so the politics are different than say here. You got this psycho killer, and you got this new type of Batman, basically with a new name. So it really stands out more than just say Batman Africa.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know, something wasn't really pulling me into it overall. I think there's as far as like a fan of any fan of like Batman comics or this is more closely would fit into detective comics than the detective comics we read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's more investigation and figuring things out in this one. Storytelling, I think, jumped around a little bit, kind of like the first issue, but I still think it was a solid read, but it didn't really grab me for very long.
All right.
Batwoman. I've been digging Batwoman. I don't know if it. I don't know if I'm totally sold on the story. It's like a fairly standard story, but the artwork is so astounding, and the way the story is told is so well done that I forgive it a lot.
I think the artwork carries through issue 6.
Yeah, it's all just gorgeous stuff. It's Todd Klein letters and Dave Stewart colors, and it's a class act. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, it's one that I was a little unsure on, but the art
Yeah.
art just totally drags you in. Then you realize there's all these different storylines. Now there's some like goofy stuff that we went over in the first Batwoman,
Well, yeah,
and the goofy stuff is still kind of as far as like art
there's something-
choices.
And there's some goofy stuff in story choices. Like, yes, she's a lesbian. Oh, did we tell you she's a lesbian? Oh yeah, she's a lesbian. Here, she's a lesbian.
Yeah, but like in the number two, number two or number three, there is a sort of lesbian bedding scene.
Yeah.
But it's all very tastefully done, very artistically done.
Yeah, and it's not totally over the top. It's just they won't let you forget that she's a lesbian. It's
Right.
like,
It's like you can, it'll be fine, man. Unless that utterly
She has-
bothers you.
She does have fake boobs on her outfit. She has to.
Yeah, she has
just
like
has to.
torpedoes.
They're they big like as if she's her breasts are not that big when she's not Batwoman, but she
Yeah.
has to be like they're notches. She has to be like putting them in there.
Yeah, they're like torpedo, like a 50s torpedo bra.
It might work
Yeah.
for running around and jumping around that they're not banging together and.
Well, she
Yeah,
needs to
well,
have her tiny landmines inside and the nipple as a trigger.
Yeah, she's a fembot. But yeah, other than the weirdness of her costume, women are drawn in very realistic ways in the comic, which I appreciate.
Awesome.
And speaking of other Bat lady people,
Yeah, Batgirl.
Batgirl. Batgirl has been another one I've been liking. I think through number 3 or 4 finishes the story arc of the Mirror, and then it jumps on to Greta or something like that, like another character. But but there's still the over storyline of Batgirl still kind of getting into things, doubts about herself, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of good character development in Barbara Gordon herself. I kind of think the Greta storyline was a bit too short for some reason. I felt it could have gone on for maybe another issue. Again, I'm still new to reading comic books, so they have different ways of telling stories. The Mirror thing, it didn't last too many issues. It lasted 3 or 4 and jumped right into the next one. But you really got the character that's really pulling you through that because, especially by the end of the Greta one, you'll get a fairly full circle with how this one starts with, Barbara Gordon.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been okay with Batgirl. It's I don't know, for whatever reason, it feels more soap opera-y to me. So
A little bit, but
Oh yeah, I can see that.
this is definitely where I think a lot of Gail Simone's focus went.
yeah, and it certainly is well written, and I do like the way Barbara Gordon's character is handled. It's very interesting to see. It's an interesting angle in the character.
Yes.
I think you got the rest.
Think you're,
I do.
Yeah.
We've read
Think you're down to you.
Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I love Wonder Woman.
Fuck yes.
This is a great run of comics. Brian Azzarello from 100 Bullets writing Wonder Woman. Who would have thought? It's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like Wonder Woman versus horror.
It's interesting because I think 95% of the characters in this comic are women.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this happens on Paradise Island, so you get to see a lot of Hippolyta, you get to see the goddess Hera, you get to see Strife, who is, our crazy little bald chick here, and everybody has a very distinct personality, and it's a lot of fun to read.
Then again, well, when you get towards like 5 and 6, you're introduced to a lot more male characters.
Yes.
So there's definitely a dichotomy and also a patriarchy that's...
There's
It looks like it's going to be disrupted a bit.
a lot going on in these comics.
If I can guess, they're mixing a lot of the mythos of Wonder Woman overall and sort of solidifying, like the whole is she made of clay thing, is she from Zeus thing. They're actually mixing it very well. So yeah, I'd definitely check out Wonder Woman.
And the art is a class act.
Is one.
It's great. Just great.
And is that all of them?
That's all of them.
I think we got all the ones that we followed up on.
There's our recap. I can't guarantee we'll be able to do this on the same scale for future episodes, as we'll be going through a lot of older comics and not some new comics. But stay tuned to our schedule. Go to firstissue.webcastbeacon.com, click on shows, look for first issue, check on calendar, and just check everything there. Otherwise, I've been Fes.
I'm with Marcus.
Melissa.
Have a week.
So, the DC Comics New 52, that was Season 1 of the Webcomic Beacon Presents first issue. Again, if you're watching this on Blip or some other syndicated channel, you can go to firstissue.webcastbeacon.com and you can go to the shows page, look for first issue, look on for what we're going to be doing in the future. We're going to set up a calendar. You can also look at some of the comics we have that are going to be potential future episodes. If you want to tip the scales in one way or another, you should read this, you should read that. Go ahead and send us an email at webcomicbeacon@gmail.com with the subject of first issue suggestion. Or if you have a number one that you would like us to review, you can also, we have a P.O. box that you can mail it to us. Any number one issue, we can potentially do a review. I can't guarantee everyone because we only have 4 or 5 a month to do. But there is a P.O. box if you want to send your own self-published or independently published comic. We can certainly take a look at that and see if we'll add it to our mix. Not just the mainstream comics for us here. Any first issue. Issue only, no compilations. Sorry, it's going to take forever. However, we're going to take April off as we get ready for Season 2 of the Webcomic Beacon Presents first issue. And what we got coming up for May 2012?
Well, first of all, we have Stetch from Silverwolf.
Following that, we've got Grim Fairy Tales presents Neverland Hook. And judging from the front of it, it is by Xenoscope. Turns out I'm right. And it neither has Grim Fairy Tales, nor Neverland, nor Hook, so this will be quite interesting. Following that, Ninja High School #1 from Antarctic Press from 1986. That's going to be some ill shit. Love Van Dunn.
And then we're going to wrap up with Dark Horse Comics. We have Ghost, which has all Adam Hughes art. And I've looked inside. It is a beautiful thing.
That is rare. If you guys don't know who Adam Hughes is,
This
it's
is
amazing.
Yes.
So, be sure to come back May 2012, firstissue.webcastbeacon.com, or just simply subscribe to our Blip station so that you'll be on the ball once we start coming back. May 2012, remember, we're going to be taking April off. Hope you enjoyed Season 1, and be with us for Season 2.